Welcome to Ties of Faith. I am Christine Watkins, your host.
And I'm Frank Brilliant, your co-host.
Today we have Earl J. Rivard on the show. He is a fabulous singer and guitar player, and I'm very, very excited to have him on the show to hear his music.
Music? Did you say music?
I did.
Listen, I'm a musician, and I want to play music. Why are all these guests coming on the show to play music? Hold on a second.
Oh no. Oh no. Here.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound
Frank.
that saved.
Frank.
What?
Where did you get that guitar?
Frank,
did you take Earl's guitar?
I just found it.
Frank, hand it over.
Earl's a nice guy. He doesn't care. Not a big deal.
Earl, can you come into the...
Earl, come
oh
on.
My gosh, I am...
wondering where my guitar was.
Oh, Earl, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sometimes I wish he didn't exist. I apologize.
Hello, Frank.
Hello.
Truly, you have been through many dangers, toils, and snares. Is that right, in your life? And it started young?
You know, it sure did. Yeah, I mean, I've... Ever since I was an infant, really, I was blinded when I was 4 months old.
Oh, 4 months old.
And I lost my eyesight actually in a car accident. My family was struck by a drunk driver, and it was actually Christmas night when I was a little baby. We were driving home.
Oh my gosh!
And this guy had come he was going the wrong direction, and hit us head on. And originally they thought I was gonna die. I was in a coma for about a week.
As a 4-month-old baby. So you were strapped in the back seat?
I was, I was actually in the front seat.
Oh, you were in the front seat?
I was in my mother's arms. This was back in the 70s, and we, I guess we didn't really know better back then. But you know what? It may actually be a blessing because the back of the car was completely smashed. It was full of Christmas gifts, and we were actually in a tunnel when it happened, and it was smashed up against the wall of the tunnel.
Oh my gosh.
So who knows what actually would have happened if I'd been in the back seat where I was supposed to be.
Oh my goodness.
But.
So you were spared, and yet what happened to your eyes in the accident?
Well, there was quite a bit of head trauma, and a lot of swelling, and I lost the sight in my right eye completely, and in my left eye, I have a little bit of sight, but only very little. Only maybe about 5% of normal.
So you have just a little bit of sight in the left eye, no sight in the right
Just
eye.
Exactly.
So you don't obviously remember being able to see.
No.
2020.
No, I don't. I have no idea what that's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened? Life goes on, and.
Well, I mean, life goes on. You do the best you can, and there are definitely challenges, involved in growing up blind. I had to learn to read Braille and have all sorts of other, techniques to get through school. And but I was doing okay. I was doing all right. I got through, elementary school, junior high school, and getting fairly good grades and doing really, doing okay. But the crosses kind of continue. My freshman year of high school, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Oh.
And we lost her my senior year of high school. She battled it for 3 years.
And was she really sick during that time and struggling?
She was. She really was. I mean, she lost all of her hair, and it was really painful and really hard for her as a kid.
As a kid,
to watch this happening. And toward the end, it was really, really, really bad. And I remember her, the last couple of weeks of her life, I remember her being in the hospital and barely being able to, she was in so much pain that she couldn't really even be awake. Whenever she would, they basically had her on a morphine drip, and whenever she would wake up, she would just scream, and they had to give her the drip again.
What happened? What kind of faith did you have before, and what kind of faith did you have after hearing your mom scream like that? And then pass away.
When that happened, when I was watching my mom go through her illness, I think that whatever little faith I may have had, I lost. I mean, I got so angry.
So angry.
I got so angry, and I didn't understand how any loving God could allow that to happen, and how any loving God could allow that kind of pain to occur and to have to witness it and to have to go through losing her. It was truly devastating.
So, I used to go to church as a young boy, and I realized at some point that, God wasn't going to help me. I had to just get up there and do it myself,
Really?
If I was going to get this Thai business happening, I had to get up at 5 a.m. and, work round the clock, go out, get my customers. And I'm just wondering, is that the space you were in? Where you're like, God, I think this is where we part ways, and from here on out, it's up to me.
The thing is that, right? Like, that, losing my mom, that happened when I was 18. And I got through it. I finished up high school. That was my senior year of high school. Had amazing love and support from friends and family. And finished up high school, went to college, went to UC Berkeley, did really well there, had a great experience. I got out of college and things got really dark again. Really dark. Like, I just, I couldn't find work. Something that they don't prepare you for when you're going through life as a blind person is the fact that, like, you're in school, right, and you have all these great support networks set up. You got people with getting you all your textbooks in Braille and helping you make sure that everything, is set up for you to succeed. And then you go out into the real world and it's just like,
I don't got this help.
I got to find a job now.
Oh.
And I don't have this help.
Yeah.
And, it's hard to find work as a blind person. I think, I've heard statistics that the unemployment rate among working age blind people is 70%.
Oh my.
Because 70%,
Wow.
because
That's big.
Yeah, because what happens, right? You go in for your job interview, and someone sees the white cane, and all they see is the white cane. That's all they see.
And they don't see anything more. They don't see you. They don't see
They
your
don't see you.
talents.
They don't see your talent. They don't see
Oh.
any ways that you could get around. And you do have to do things a little differently to make a work environment work.
Right.
But people don't see that. All they see is the cane.
So you can't get a job. What else is going on that
I
makes
can't
it dark?
get a job, so that was going on for a few years, and I was kind of unemployed. I was living, I was basically living off of SSI from the government, and so I was kind of sharing rooms with, honestly, a series of, some of the roommate situations were okay, but some of them were truly dysfunctional. And then there came to this point about 5 years after college when I wasn't working. I was living in this really sad situation. I was feeling really depressed. I actually had a very painful breakup. There was this girl that I really cared about quite a bit, and really kind of saw a future with her, and she basically kind of said to me, because you're blind and because you don't make enough money, basically, you are, like, my family would never accept you, and I have to obey my family. I have to obey what my family says.
So what heartbreak. You fall in love.
It was heartbreak.
And this is the reason she gives you, not I don't love you, not we shouldn't be together, but things were out of your control, being blind, being unemployed.
Well, I can relate to that, Earl. I mean, I have to admit that much of my obsession with business is done out of fear. I'm really driven because, hey, if I don't have enough money for all of my crazy material possessions, as Christine calls them, what am I going to do? Who am I? And sometimes I do admit, off the record, that, money is important. It's part of my identity. I can't say I'm proud of that.
Right.
But I relate to it. And so I can connect with the fear that you actually experience. Your story is a lot more shocking than mine, but at least I do connect on the fear. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, Frank. And the thing is, though, it's good that you have a successful business, right? And I think it's easy. I think especially for guys, right? I think especially for men, it's easy to define our success by, like, what we have, right?
It
and
is.
what we make. But I think something that I have learned through my own experience of not having very much worldly success and of struggling to find employment to make things happen is, well, I've learned a couple of things. I mean, the first thing is that I've always been, I mean, even when things have been bad, I look back, and here again, it's looking back and connecting the dots, looking back, right? I look back, I always had a roof over my head. I always had enough to eat. I always had people close by that cared about me, my family, even if my living situation was tough. Like, you're always given, you know, I've always been given what I need, even if it's not exactly maybe necessarily what I want, and even if I struggle, because I struggle with that too. Like, it's hard feeling like, you know, and I'll tell you the truth, Frank, like when I, you know, and when I had this breakup that I was talking about, I felt like, basically, I mean, there was really, few things have been so devastating psychologically, because basically she was saying to me, like, you're not in your essence, you're not good enough. You're not good enough in the essence of who you are. And I'll tell you, like, that damaged me. It was a really, really painful, awful thing. So basically, here I am, and I'm at this point where I'm looking at it and I'm going, like, what's gonna happen? Where do I go from here? What kind of a life do I have to look forward to? I was 28 years old, and I kind of said, I can't do this.
Did you get suicidal at that point? Did you start to have thoughts of ending it?
I don't think I was ever actually suicidal. I never seriously contemplated killing myself, but I did kind of say, I can't live like this for the next 50 years. I just can't, like, what is my life gonna be? Is my life gonna be a series of, you know, of sad, is my life gonna be poverty and dysfunctional roommate situations and never finding love and companionship and never having, like, am I gonna be squeaking by and barely surviving for the next 50 years? And I just said, I can't do this. I can't do this. Something has to change. And then, and this is the crazy part. This is the part where I was saying, Frank, earlier, that sometimes your prayers are answered, but not in the way you expect. Right when I thought things couldn't get any worse, I got hit by a car.
Oh, and that's how you were blinded in the first place?
No. Well, yes. Yeah, I was blinded in a car accident when I was a baby.
Not hit by a car again.
But I got hit by a car again. I was crossing the street. It was a December night.
You were how old now?
28.
Okay.
Right, and it was right at the low point of my life. 28 years old, I'm crossing the street, and it was getting dark. It was December. It was getting dark kind of early, like 5-ish, you know, a little after 5 in the afternoon. And this car didn't see me. And so he didn't even stop. I think they say he was going between 25 and 35 miles an hour. Wow. I flew 20 feet through the air. I had a concussion. I broke this bone in my left hand. I broke both the bones in my lower leg, basically snapped through.
Did you land on your back?
I landed on my back. I hit my head. I woke up. It was
serious.
It was terrifying. I woke up and I didn't remember where I was headed or where I had been coming from. I didn't remember anything about that day. Everything came back to me eventually except the actual accident. The actual accident never came back. I still have no memory of that, but everything else of the day came back. But the thing is that, I mean, I was in hospital for almost 3 weeks. They had to operate on my leg. I was in a wheelchair for about 2 months. I couldn't walk. And, you know,
so what happens to your spirit in this time?
Well, this is what's really surprising and kind of amazing, right? Because you would expect that would be the crushing blow. But what actually happened, and it's really kind of unbelievable. What actually happened was that I'm looking around and I start to think to myself, I go, you know, I could have died.
Yeah.
I easily could have died. Like, any number of things could have happened to make it to where...
Or should have died.
Well, maybe, yeah. And I didn't. And what that told me, the message that I kind of got from that was, I said, you know, God must have something in mind for me. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what's going to happen. But he must have something in mind for me because I'm still here. And I believe you die. I believe you die when you're meant to die. And if I wasn't meant to die at that time, then there would still be work for me to do. And it gave me hope. It began to give me hope.
And did that hope dispel all these doubts that had been swarming and the sadness?
Not entirely, but things began to turn around. Things began to turn around, and I I felt like there might be a purpose to staying alive.
To staying alive.
And was that the key for you? The fact that you kind of had this sense that God had a purpose for you to keep living? Did that?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was it.
Do you think one of the purposes is your music? Because you seem to be so natural at it.
You know, I think so.
I mean, Frank tries to play, I try to play, and it's just not the same, although Frank thinks so.
Speak for yourself, okay? Just speak for yourself, please. Thank you.
That's right, sure. Okay, sorry, Frank.
Thank you.
Frank, we love you, Frank.
Thanks, Earl.
We appreciate the joyful. We appreciate the joyful noises you make unto the Lord.
Yes,
it's all good,
the
Frank.
joyful
Thank you.
noises for the Lord.
But
Yeah, there we go. It's you and me, Earl. Thank you.
hey,
Yeah.
but I mean, I guess I do. Yeah, it's always been something that's come really naturally to me and has brought me a lot of joy. It just brings me joy. It brings me joy to sing.
And in terms of God in your life, what's the greatest gift that you feel God has given you? Because I know that perseverance has clearly been something you've had to cling to in all these struggles, and perseverance is sometimes the only thing that got you through, because sometimes, as you said, there was no light whatsoever.
Yeah.
So the light was the music, was it not? Was that always a light
The
in
music
there
was
somewhere?
the music was a light. I mean, the music has
Was a
always been a
light.
light, and it's always been there. And it's something that, I mean, it gives me so much joy to share with people. In terms of the greatest gift, you know, I think the greatest gift in my life is actually that long after I had basically given up of this ever happening, I actually did meet someone, and I got married last summer.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I
Congratulations, Earl.
thank you, Frank.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, no, I met my wife, Kate, through eHarmony, actually. I was, you know,
Well, it wasn't Catholic Match, but
it wasn't Catholic Match, no, but you know what? It worked. It was God took me to the right place.
That's great.
Because yeah, I decided to join. I decided to join, and I decided to give it a try. I mean, it wasn't happening otherwise, and I always felt the call to be married, and I always knew that I wanted to be married, and it was easy to give up. Especially after the situation with this other young woman, it was easy to kind of feel my own unworthiness to that calling, but I thought I would give it a try, and I did.
Oh.
And I met my wife, and
well, I hope she's watching today.
yeah, I hope she is too. Because
Do you
she
have a
is,
song? Because she is, I interrupted you.
Oh, because she is just one of the most amazing gifts in my life, and being married is one of the most joyful experiences.
I like
it
to
is better
sing
than
to
I
women.
ever dreamed it could possibly be. And
Oh,
it's
I like
just-
to sing to women, but, you know, I'm not married yet, but, you know,
You like to sing to women?
yeah, that's kind of my thing. You know, I like to
Okay.
kind of woo them. I'm kind of, you know, I'm pretty romantic. You may not see that much, but, you know. Yeah, but, good work, Earl. I hope you sing to your wife on a regular basis.
I do sing to my wife on a regular basis.
Awesome.
Oh, he's grabbing the guitar.
She
Hey,
likes
hey.
to hear me sing. As a matter of fact, you know what? I wanna sing a song to my wife. This is a song that I actually wrote years ago, and I wrote this before I knew my wife. And I wrote this before I knew really how joyful being in a loving marriage could be. And it was all just kind of how I imagined it might be and how I hoped it might be. And now that I've met my wife and that I live that every day, just the joy of that life, I want to rededicate this song to my wife today. I want to hold you in the morning as the sun begins to rise. See it shining in your eyes. And I want to kiss you in the moonlight, walking barefoot on the sand, where the water meets the land. I want to meet you down the aisle. I wonder if the sight of you in white would make me smile or make me cry. I want to love you till I die. And I want to hear our babies crying in a bedroom down the hall. I want to come running when they call. And I want to hold you through the trials, all the joy and all the pain. Laugh in the sunshine, dance in the rain. I want to watch as the years deepen your beauty. Want to embrace the sacred duty to be yours and yours alone for all my life. I want to love you as my wife. And as we go on ever longer, we'll teach each other how to love and to forgive. We'll ride out the storms and come out stronger. I know we can make it. I believe this love can live. I want to smooth your hair of silver on a pillow soft and warm. I want to shield you from all harm. And all of those battles you'll be waging as you're aging, I'll make them mine. I'll be there beside you the whole time. I want to look at you when you're older and still see the same sweet angel that is resting on my shoulder peacefully. I want to be yours eternally. Want to be yours eternally. Wanna be yours eternally.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
Excellent.
That
Excellent.
was
Thank you so much.
incredible. And you wrote that, is that right?
I did, yeah.
Oh, that was so heartfelt. When you sing, we can hear your soul.
It was good.
Thank you.
It was really,
It was good.
really
If
good.
Frank says it's good, that's
Thanks,
a high
Frank.
compliment.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Frank.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much. And thank you so much for being in the garden with
It has
us.
been my pleasure.
We have to guard this from Frank in case he takes it.
Yeah, just leave that over here.
Really trust him? I
I'll
don't
watch
think
it.
so. I don't think
No,
so.
really.
Thank you,
I'll
Christy.
escort
Really.
you out.
So long, Frank.
Keep
Hey,
talking.
see you, Earl. Nice to meet you. Great to talk. Really enjoyed it. Yeah. So, Earl, what a guy. What a story. You know, at first I was like, hey, is this guy for real? But his story was so heartfelt, and the way he persevered, because he just didn't know what was going to come next. I actually was impressed.
Oh, that's wonderful.
yeah.
Would you like to be in touch with Earl or find out more about him? Because I just found out his website.
Oh, great. Yeah, I mean, I'd like
Yeah.
to look it up, read his bio maybe, and learn about his music some more.
Okay, so it's www.earljohnrivard.com, and it's a John without an H. So
No
it's
H. No H. Got it.
EarlJohnRivard.com. So we thank Earl for being on the show from the bottom of our hearts, and you were actually kind of nice to him, so I want to thank you for that, Frank.
Well, you're welcome. I like Earl. I mean, he let me use his guitar, or more or less, and what a guy to talk to. Really enjoyed it.
All right. And remember, don't forget those ties of faith.